If I told you that the average used car costs people over $4 million, you wouldn't believe me. And you'd be right not to believe me. It actually costs more than $4 million. To understand the true cost of a car, you need to understand opportunity cost. This is the idea that if you pick one option, you can't pick the other. For example, if you buy a Chipotle burrito bowl for $10, you can't spend that exact same $10 buying a burger at Five Guys. You can only spend that $10 bill one time. So what are Americans spending all of their money on? Cars. We are spending all of our money on cars. Americans owe over $1.5 trillion in auto loans. Auto debt is the third largest debt category, falling behind mortgages and student loans. That's right, Americans have more auto debt than credit card debt. It's actually absurd. In 2022, the average new car sold for over $41,000. The average used vehicle sold for more than $27,000. That latter price tag hurts me. You can literally buy new cars for $27,000. The car payments that result from all this aggressive spending are simply brutal. The average car payment in 2022 was $526 for a used vehicle and a whopping $716 a month for a new vehicle. And to top all of this off, America's car obsession isn't going away anytime soon. Every month, Americans are borrowing more than $62 billion in auto loans. Monthly. Americans' total auto debt is basically growing at a linear pace. And at its current rate, by the end of the decade, Americans will have more than $2 trillion in auto debt. So what's the opportunity cost for America's obsession with cars? The opportunity I want to compare buying a car against is investing for retirement. Let's plug both the new and used car payment into a compound interest calculator. Instead of having a car payment every month, you'll invest that money into the S&P 500, which has historically returned about 10%. If you took 45 years of car payments and invested it instead, how much money will you have? Let's start with the used car payment. Plug in the numbers and oh look, it's over $4.5 million. Holy crap, that's a lot of money. That's an insane, absurd, a mind-blowing amount of money to be spending on used cars. But don't worry, this calculation is about to get worse. Let's look at new car payments. With a monthly payment of $716, you'd end up with over $6 million. If you want to know where your retirement went, it went into your freaking cars. If you never escape the auto loan cycle, you'll have squandered a luxurious retirement just so you can drive a car you like. But wait. I can already see that you're upset. I can already see you're commenting that cars are a necessity. You need to get one if you want to get to work. It's America, right? So therefore, buying a car is an unavoidable cost. And how dare I, some random person on YouTube, take the high road and criticize buying a car? Well, you're kinda right. Most Americans do need a car to get to work. I admit it, you got me. You need a job to be financially successful. Therefore, yes, cars are a necessity. To a point. How good a car looks does not affect the car's ability to get you to work. How nice the interior is does not affect the car's ability to get you to work. A cheap, well-used car is a necessity. Anything else beyond that is a luxury. The line where a car becomes a luxury is what I call the used Toyota line. Toyota is the brand of cars that never stop driving, with many of their cars lasting for more than 200,000 miles. A used Toyota can easily last you a decade or more of driving. You may come to hate the car because it never goes away, but the car gets the job done. The moment you spend money on a car that is nicer than a well-used Toyota is the moment you are spending money on a luxury. If you take out an auto loan to buy a luxury, you have broken the most important debt rule of all time. If you borrow money, it must go towards something that will make you even more money. For example, if you get a mortgage, you get a house instead of paying a landlord. You can sell the house later on to recoup some of your cost of living. Student loans is another example. Student loans increase your earning potential, ideally more than you spent going to college. Cars are very different. Cars depreciate in value at a fast pace. The probability you can recover the cost of your car when you go to sell it is next to zero. Borrowing money for a nice car is the exact same as borrowing money to go on a cruise. You're destroying your finances for just a little bit of fun. Now that the main complaint has been addressed, let's answer the question that the financially savvy people have. If your car payment is going to cost you between $4 to $6 million, how do we get rid of the car payment? Great question. Step 1 is to acquire a used vehicle that drives forever. Toyota, I'm looking at you. If you are friends of a car person, or you yourself are a car person, go shopping in your area for a used car. If you do not have a car person in your life, CarMax and services like it can help you make sure you don't get a crap car. If you don't have money to buy your car in cash, you may need to finance your first car. Get a well-used car with a reputation for driving forever. This will ideally be the last time you ever have an auto loan. If you do finance the car, you want to get this car paid off as fast as possible. This means rice and beans, skipping vacations, taking on overtime. Get the car paid off ASAP. Having auto debt is what poor people do, and you do not deserve to be poor. By tackling the auto debt with the urgency it demands, you will get yourself into a position where you have paid off the car and the car still works. Congratulations, you're free of the car payment. At least for a little bit. Because your car will not last forever. So now it's time to create a car fund. Take what you were originally paying as your car payment and pay it to yourself. You can put it into a money market fund or into a high yield savings account, but this money is being set aside for your next car. And it's at this moment that you've changed the game. Instead of you paying interest to buy a car, the bank now pays you money to buy a car. Instead of paying an extra 4% every year when you want to buy a car, the bank now pays you 4% every year. That's just beautiful. Just take it in for a moment. Your car fund is growing via interest your bank or money market fund is paying you. You are literally getting paid to save up and buy a car. You aren't a debtor anymore. You've taken control of the system, and it is simply incredible. Returning now to the plan of action, the goal is that by the time your car breaks down, your car fund is full enough to buy the next car. If it's not, it's actually not that big of a deal. Instead of having to borrow 80% for your next car, you'll end up only borrowing 20% because you have a car fund that will serve as a massive down payment. That means you can get back to saving for your next car even faster. As long as you stick with this strategy, you will eventually get to the point where car loans are a thing of the past. When you save up enough money in your car fund to take care of the next well-used, reliable car purchase, you can stop the payment. However, some of you are already craving a nicer car. You don't want to keep driving used Toyotas for the rest of your life. If you are debt-free except for your mortgage, you have an emergency fund, and you're investing 20% of your salary for retirement, you can increase how much you're saving for your car. Remember, a nice car is a luxury, therefore, you only get to indulge once you're already on track to be a multimillionaire. The next time you go to buy a car, remember the real price of that car. Is a nice car really worth millions of dollars?